Hey there, welcome. My planning system has changed a lot from what I had at the beginning of the year, so I thought this would be a good time to do kind of a planning update. If you follow my channel, you may know that most of my planning for the past 2+ years has been on a Hobonichi A6. This has been my go-to planner since 2019 and I love it, but on May I felt the need to have a space to do time blocking. In other words, I felt the need to have some sort of daily timeline to plan out my day. I used to have that when I was playing around with the Hobonichi cousin, and then on 2020 when I had the Jibun Techo. This year I didn't purchase any planner with a timeline. I just have my Hobonichi A6, and yeah, I know that the Hobonichi A6 has this small timeline on the left side of each daily page, but this doesn't really do it for me because I like to be able to see kind of the week. So on May, this is what I did. I used this Nanami Cafe A6 notebook to do a weekly view with a timeline. That way I can do time blocking. So this is what it looks like. I would have this space for the weekly tasks, and then I would have 2 days per page, and I love this. I had a lot of fun going back to kind of a weekly view. And I was working at first with this and my Hobonichi A6, but eventually it just happened naturally. I wasn't really planning to drop my Hobonichi A6. It just made more sense to me to have my daily planning on the back. So this is what it would look like. I started to kind of go back to very minimal planning, just pen and paper. This is what I ate in the day. These are my tasks. Many things may get blurred because this is my personal planner and there's personal information in here. I don't know, in the past I really felt the need of having like the structure of a planner, but this time around it just felt so natural, so effortless, and I enjoyed it so much that by July, I really wanted to scale up to a bigger layout. So I used this Leuchtturm I was using to sketch out. I like to sketch out kind of planning spreads or bullet journal spreads, even though I may not use them. Sometimes I get ideas, or I see things that I find inspiring. I like to kind of like have a catalog. So this is how I was using this Leuchtturm notebook, and I decided why not try taking my bullet journal into a bigger space in here. So this is what my weeklies look like. So this is the current week, and what I was going for, I wanted to see my whole week at a glance. This is how it looks like, and I absolutely love this. To give credit to who deserves it, this spread is inspired by Pen Paper Soul. I will link her Instagram account in the description below. I love her spreads. They're just pen and paper, so minimal, so straightforward. I love her clean designs. So this is what this is the layout I decided to work with for my weeklies. The only difference is Pen Paper Soul, she doesn't have a timeline. She uses this for her daily tasks and some memory keeping. The way I decided to use it is have a timeline for my time blocking, and I use the bottom space for forward planning. For example, we're in August, in the first week of August. If something takes place on October, I can write down the event down here, and when the week comes and I'm working on my dailies, I already have that note in here. Based on this design, I played around with different ideas. This is how I ended up doing them as my own version of this layout, and I love how this turned out. Love it, love it, love it. On top, I have some habit tracking. Well, just tracking, because these are not really habits. These are just things I want to know if I did or not. And this is more health related and goals related. And then I have the temperature. So yeah, this is what my weeklies look like. I have mentioned in the past a lot that bullet journaling doesn't work for me because I need the structure of a planner. I hate not being able to go to a specific date and just look for the date and write down what I have to do on that date. The whole forward planning column or page, that doesn't work for me. I like to go boom to that specific day and just have the event already there. So the way I got around that was that I pre-planned the next 6 months. So in here I have from July through December. And it didn't take me that long because it's 1 week per spread. I did this on my free time watching a TV show or a movie. I would sit down with my notebook and just do my lines. And by the end of a week, I was done with the whole 6 months, the weekly views of 6 months. And after the 6 months, I just have my blank pages for my regular planning. This spread is from Georgina the librarian, and this is to track my cleaning. I love the way she does it. She has some other stuff on this side. She doesn't have a page for notes. I decided to use it for personal notes and just keep this part like that. So I have like, I don't know, cleaning my bedroom, bathroom, and these are the week numbers. So because I began this bullet journal on the week 26th of the year, and it goes all the way to week 52. Here are some pages I took from this A6 bullet journal. This is how I was doing some of my tracking. I began doing my tracking at the beginning of the year in my Hobonichi weeks, but then I got into a funk and I wasn't getting into it, and I realized I needed like a sense of achievement, and I was able to get that with this very graphic or colorful way of seeing when I did what, and I liked it. I began this bullet journal, like I said, on July. So I pasted this because I didn't want to miss this month, and I like seeing the previous two. I have to do the remaining months of the year in here. Here's to track my online orders. This is personal. This is to track my expenses. And this is what my dailies look like. At first, didn't feel too comfortable having too much space. I didn't know how to work around it. I tried with different pens, and I wasn't super happy with it. And yeah, I have some overdue tasks in here. And then when I started using this fountain pen with this brown ink, I don't know, everything fell in place. And I love how it looks. This is just pen and paper planning. No stickers, just different inks to differentiate some notes. This is what I ate during the day, so this is not planning related, and this is related to my goals. And some days, for example, this particular Monday, when I have a lot of things I know I want to get done, but I don't know when to start or how to get around my task list. I do a mock-up of my day, of like what I want to do at each time of the day. And as the day goes, because things can be unpredictable, I start seeing like which things I can actually get done the way I plan them, and then I lay down how my day actually went over here. So this is the 5th. So this is what my weeklies looked like. Some weeks were busier than the others. I don't feel like I'm missing my planners at all, which is weird because I really love my Hobonichi planners, but I am super happy with this. So again, with my dailies, the things I have in boxes, this is pre-planning. For example, this is a Tuesday. This is a box I probably did either on Monday or during the previous weekend, planning out my meals for the week. So here I wrote down some of the ingredients I had available for my meals for these days and for the week. And this is kind of like a suggestion of the menu or like the meals I can have during the day. So these boxes are pre-planning, and what I have here is my tasks for the day, my menu. Like I said, this is related to my goals, that like what I'm reading, in what page I am. So this is a very clear way of seeing how I'm moving forward with the pages I'm reading and the books, things like that. This is what I actually ate during the day. So I may have a pre-planned menu, but it may have nothing to do with what I actually ate during the day. And I like to have a log of what I ate every day. I use the bottom space for gratitude. And I was doing a daily news briefing in this Midori diary. If you follow the New York Times, they do this morning briefing, which is a summary of the main events around the world for that specific day. And I used to do very extensive notes on the main events of the day. But then around around May, I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. I got in a funk with this, so I started doing it very summarized and small over here, just to have a small record of what happened in the world. And I don't do it every single day like I used to, just when I see like there are things that are that it would be good to have a note about them. And the things in black are just personal annotations or notes. For example, here, this is my daily briefing. I had many notes in here and I didn't have space for my daily briefing, so I added like this. And I love how this looks, I love how this feels, I love playing around with my bullet journal. And for planning people, there's this, how can I say it? There's this kind of feeling, it sounds weird, this feeling of affection for your planner or your bullet journal. And I was missing that this year with my Hobonichi 6. And as soon as I started working with this bullet journal, I went back to having that feeling kind of like of affection for my notebook. Like it's a piece of me and I enjoy working with it, and I love writing in here. And my planning process it becomes a moment of joy to just have a record of my day in these pages. And while at first I was struggling with having so much space, at the end I couldn't get enough. Like I just love having this whole A5 page for my daily planning. Here I'm tracking my savings for 3 different goals or projects I have. So I love being able to having one page Saturday and Sunday, so I don't have to worry about having just like Saturdays and Sundays. There's usually very little planning, so I can use as little or as much as I want to. Some pages are just for brain dump or to keep track of some information that is important. More planning. This spread is I'm gonna say interesting. To me, it's interesting. This is how I had planned my Monday. I had planned these tasks and the day began, and things didn't go the way I planned them, so I got very delayed with different things that happened. So I realized that I was not going to be able to do everything that I had planned, and I had to add this. I taped this page to do a mock-up of how I was going to get around some things I had to get done with the time I had left during the day. So that's why I have the same day, like this is the same Monday. This is how I had it planned. This is how it actually turned out. Here I felt like adding this postcard with a brief summary of what I did during the day. I do have the occasional sticker, but only some pops, like just little ones here and there. But this is mostly just pen and paper. This bullet journal has also been an opportunity to use my fountain pens. Again, this is some brain dump. I love just having infinite space to do brain dump. More brain dump, like kind of a draft or a sketch of what I would like my night routine to be with my son and my morning routine with my son, and some tasks with some color coding for blue things are things related to my son, what I'm reading, what I'm listening, what I'm watching. This is just some ephemera. Some days I have a small health report, you know, if you eat something that didn't suit you well, or I had a headache, or I don't know. Sometimes I like to have a small annotation for myself to have a record of how I felt or how something I'm trying out is working out for me. For these Hobonichi weeks, this is where I was doing my social media planning, and again I was like, why not try to migrate it here? So this is the way I did it. This is a calendar, so this is brainstorm for video ideas, what I'm shooting, what I'm editing, and then I will mark with a circle when I actually published something. This is something I was trying out for tracking things related to my son, and I love that every single day looks different, and I just feel with the freedom to play around. This one is another page I added where I was doing some brain dump some other place, and I took the notebook I had at hand, and then I added the notes in here. These are some goals for the coming week. Under the tasks that I want to keep in mind, and the coming Monday. This is where I'm at right now, and this is what I'm using as a bookmark. I did this kind of tile drawing with watercolor, and I added a Leuchtturm pencil holder. So this is the way I'm using it. This is the way I take it out whenever I decide to take out this huge notebook, because this is huge for me. If I'm at home, I just leave this on the side and I work with my fountain pens. The thing is, this is what I have left for the rest of the year, and oof, I think it will last me maybe till September. We'll see what I use for the remaining of my dailies, because I have weeklies from July to December. And let me show you what my monthlies look like. I'll show a blank one because some of them have already information. This is what it looks like. Super simple, just lines, numbers, 2 simple stickers. I leave this space to write with red ink my priorities. And these very faint lines, I don't know if you can see them, they are to divide the weeks of the month. So under the tasks, I keep them on the right side, and this space is for tasks that I want to get done on a specific week. So this space is for tasks that I want to get done on this week. This space is for tasks that I want to get done on this week, and so on. And then this space is to track my payments. And I think that's pretty much it. For taking out with me, I have this Leuchtturm A6, and I do have some planning space, but this is mostly a journal, like everything that comes to my mind. This is what my kind of like calendar spread looks like. So this is the month of August, and I have the days of the month, I have the weeks divided, and I mark down some appointments. For example, if I go out and I agree to meet with someone on a specific date, I write it down here. So this is the notebook that I take with me, and I like to have a place to write things down for my planning and then transfer them to this one. And I have all kinds of notes. So I have the books I'm reading each month, my reading goals, some book recommendations, some notes from a video that I found very interesting. These are some other notes. I use these round stickers to classify my notes. This way it's super easy for me to see what kind of notes I have in here. This idea is from Megan Rhiannon. I will link her video in the description below. This is a shopping list, by the way. I love her system, her idea with using these circle stickers to classify notes. I think is brilliant. So I will link her video in the description, and I strongly recommend her video. And that's pretty much it for my planning update. So this is how, even though this is a bigger notebook than what I'm used to working with, this one is condensing everything I have been using during the year. So, and I've been so happy with this system that I think I'm back to bullet journaling for good, or at least maybe for 2022. I didn't want to show you this for One Book July because this is not part of a 1 monthly challenge. This is me playing around with my planning system and what works out for me, and I'm going to keep working with this notebook till the end of the year. So yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Even though it could fit in the theme of One Book July, this is not a 1 month thing for me. So I hope this video was useful for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you. By the way, in case you're wondering, I'm still using my long-term collections. If you've seen previous videos of mine, you may have seen this one. This is where I keep, those things that those collections that I want to have in one place and not have to write them over and over and over whenever I take a new planner. Like events, holidays, like favorite recipes, my recipe book, birthdays, things like that. So this one I reference at the beginning of each month, and I still reference this one at the beginning of each month. but for the most part this is what I'm working with, and I'm super happy. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.